But go ahead, with the love.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he put him on the phone and he was like, I know you don't want to hear all this right now, but I just want you to hear this story. And so he called somebody on the phone that happened to be a love child and let me hear her sad story about how it affected her growing up and how she felt like, that side of the family, like she missed out on a lot and stuff like that, and it affected her still to this day. He tried everything to try to get in my head. The thing that really stood out to me and pissed me off was when he told me he could take me to court. And in my head, even though everybody who know me know I'm a good mother and whatever, but at that time, I was so stressed out. because I couldn't tell nobody. Of course, I had nobody to talk to. So he was the only motherfucker in my ear. And, I was stressed out and I didn't know what to do. And, I was just like, well, they probably do know somebody. You could pay people under the table and do whatever you want to do in court. You know what I'm saying? And all this coming in my head. I'm like, at this point, I was just like, you know what? I don't even want to have a child for a man like this. If you put me through all of this, you know what I'm saying? Even though you got me pregnant. So in my head, I said, I'm going to do this and I'm done with you. All right. So I go there the first time, make an appointment. I go there and I leave. I'm like, I can't do this. He go crazy. Like, so you lied to me. So you told me that, you was going to do this and you supposed to be down for me. So you really going to choose the child over me? And I'm like, he's just said some bullshit that really just pissed me off. And so I just made the decision to go back. I went through it. The bastard had the nerve to call me afterwards and say, after I told him it was done, because I said it was done so I could fuck alone.
You had an abortion.
I had an abortion. I don't even believe in abortions. None against nobody who's ever had one, but that's just not who I am. I never thought I would be in the place to have one. I did that just because I told myself I was done with him and, and to be honest, I was kind of scared of how my baby would come out because I was stressed. How they have your baby could be deformed or whatever if you're stressing so much or not. I wasn't eating. I was dried up. I lost a lot of weight. I wasn't eating. I was stressed. And I was just like, I don't know if my baby even good, because I'm not good. And I was scared.
How far along were you?
I was almost 3 months. I had just made it to that mark, of the cutoff stage.
That was a baby.
Yeah. And so
timeless.
Yeah. So that's why that's why everybody, that one, and he played with my mind. Right after I told him I was, it was done. He called me crying on the phone and he was just like, I was going to call you and tell you don't do it. And that pissed me off, So I'm just like, I'm crying and everything. And, after that it hit and I just lost it. I was like, I want my baby back. I was like, what have I done? That's where I was at mentally because like I said, I went against everything I believe, my morals and everything for this man, the sacrifice. Because he told me, you do this for me, you and your kids going to be taken care of for life. And we're going to have plenty of babies after this. That's what he told me. He was like, let me just get the plan together and, we're going to be good. You have to trust me. And he kept saying, trust me.
So y'all already 2 years in at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here we are. When did the second baby come? Because in your song that you wrote, thanks so much for giving me a cameo. I appreciate that. You put my post in there. I showed the viewers. I was like, yeah, I made it. Look. So yeah, we helped to promote your song and everything like that. So they liked it. They was dancing and everything. But so when did the second baby happen?
So I'm gonna answer that question. Let me say this. He kept, everybody was saying there's no baby, no none of this. I don't know what version you played or when you caught it. That original version that I leaked our phone conversation. And so he was featured on that song. And that was the conversation with us going back and forth about the baby. So when I first leaked it, it was going up, people was fucking with it. And I guess he got a hold of it and he reported it to YouTube. And so YouTube hit me up and told me just to do some editing or whatever. So I removed his voice off of it. So yeah. Okay. So towards the end, when you hear the talking, that was part of the conversation when I'm like, I want to keep my baby. So that's where they come from, so just to prove that, in case he lying or whatever, is a phone conversation where he knew about the baby and we was going back and forth, and he was just trying to save his ass. But yeah, he just promised me that we was going to be taken care of if I do that for him and we're going to have time to have a lot of babies. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't the right time, Okay. So that was that. The second time was for my Vegas trip. We took a trip in Vegas and that was around March and that was March last year. Okay. Now, so I'm going to rewind again. Okay, because I told you I was supposed to be done with him. He was the only person that was there afterwards when he was like, I was going to tell you not to do it. And he called me every morning, all day, all night, crying, sending me R. Kelly songs, and
what songs did he send?
I have to check him on it. I forgot. It was 2 songs he sent me. Well, it was actually, he sent me 3 songs. I know one of them was Can You Stand the Rain, New Edition.
Okay.
And the other two was R. Kelly songs. Let me see. I can look and see.
Romantic.
Well, that's what I thought. You know, he was there when nobody else was there. You know, and I hated him, but I'm like, I don't know nobody else to talk to, and all I wanted was a shoulder to cry.
Yeah.
And he was there. I mean, and so then we kind of got closer.
Okay.
You know, and
you gotta pull him up. I was just seeing if you knew it off the top of your head.
Well, no, I want y'all to.
Yeah.
I want y'all to know
The songs in the video, and
I'm not gonna play it. I'll just say the name of the song.
Just say the name. Okay.
Yeah,
cool,
one of them was R. Kelly, I Decided, and the other one R. Kelly, For You. Okay. Those songs.
Those three. And so you said, you know what, we can give it another shot.
He was there. He was on, you know, nobody could know about us, obviously. I mean, but the people in his inner circle who knew about us, like I've met, you know, people. So we got very close, and then he was just like, I'm never gonna let you down again, and, you know, tell me all of that mushy stuff, and I was vulnerable. Okay. So we got closer, then that's when he started like trying to take me on trips and do nicer things, like just do more. So yeah, Vegas trip happened. He went all out. He really, you know, it was nice. He was waiting for me as soon as I landed. Like it was nice. He really, you know, of course it went down. I got pregnant. You know,
that on the Vegas trip.
On a Vegas trip. Now before that, he did tell me though. He was like, you know, babe, I'm stupid. You know, I'm tripping. So if you get pregnant again, just don't tell me shit. He said, I'm already know you're pregnant anyway. It ain't gonna make a difference. So when I got pregnant again, I didn't tell him. Okay. I kept it to myself. I actually found out on my son's birthday getaway. I took my son to Destin, and I took a pregnancy test with me because I was off. I had missed my period, and we was on our way to his trip or whatever. I was my body was off. And so my mom came with me on a trip, and she saw me kept vomiting one morning. She was like, girl, you pregnant? And I'm looking at her and I'm like, I think so too, but I'm just like, well, how you know? Just playing it off. So I ended up taking the test. I was pregnant, and then a while later, like that pregnancy didn't stick. Okay. So I was just like, this is weird because I don't have no problem, you know, with babies or none of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, something's going on. So anyway, when I was in Destin, I called the people and I was like, what happens like with this, or is this miscarriage, or what is this and whatever? And you know, they say, well, sometimes it can happen from the guy's sperm or something wrong with that too. I never heard of none of this stuff. I'm just listening to them or whatever. And so that happened, that passed, whatever. I didn't tell him about it until the third pregnancy. So he didn't know about the second pregnancy. All the months went by until the third pregnancy. The third pregnancy, I got pregnant in August on our Texas trip. So
you are fertile.
Yeah, that's why I said you know.
TKOdeals.com. Guys, we finally got the glutathione complex. All right, so this is the inner glow. This helps to even your skin tone without you having to get injections or IVs. When you see them girls looking real bleached and things like that, it's because they're using too much glutathione and they're putting it in their veins. Whereas you could take a tablet a day and use it with our Koji Cocoa soap, okay? That's on the site all over your body, helping to even your skin tone, helping to brighten the skin tone, and things like that. That's why my skin is just so nice. You don't see me all bleached and extra light because I don't use too much. This is a nice, fair dosage, all right? Give it about 6 weeks. You should see improvements, but with the Koji Cocoa soap, you'll definitely see improvements within like a couple of days, okay? And so the reviews are on the site. Use the coupon code TK10 to get 10% off your first order. And so, and this is just it's an amazing combination, okay? So glutathione as well as the Koji Cocoa soap. Don't forget, guys, all right? 2 of the must-haves, which is the sea moss, 10,000 milligrams, 98% of the vitamins and minerals that our body needs. Every one of us needs to supplement. We need to supplement with plant-based products. Sea moss is plant-based. It comes from the sea, okay? It's extracted, and now it is in a mango flavor as well as a pineapple flavor, all naturally extracted fruits that are mixed together with the sea moss. It kills that fishy smell because, you know, sometimes sea moss can be I worked at I was a bartender at a strip club, and that fish smell with women was real. Okay, I used to hate when they be like, go get Star to the stage. I'd be like, I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there. I'm a bartender. I'm a bartender. But you ain't got to worry about all that, okay? And also on top of the sea moss, it has spirulina, zinc, burdock root, okay? This is easy. You can pop it in your water, pop it under your tongue. It's highly absorbable, which means you're going to absorb it real fast as opposed to a capsule. And don't forget, guys, in addition to that, that's something that's highly nutritious for you and also helps your T cells to activate when it's time to activate when you come in contact with different bacteria and viruses and stuff like that. The mushroom extract complex, shiitake mushrooms, one of the main ingredients in here, has been shown through clinical studies to completely help the body to eradicate HPV. They use it in HIV therapy and things like that. And if you can't take mushrooms, the texture and consistency, the gummies are here. They're very, very highly nutritional. They're very good, okay? But we also have the T cell and NK cell mushroom Vitamix, which is the powder. I put this in my smoothies, put it in my coffee. You can even put it in your food, okay? And eat it over the course of a few days, all right? We had a woman write in the other day saying that they couldn't get her calcium levels up, and they tried everything when she was in the hospital. And so something clicked and told her, hey, go get me that mushroom powder. And immediately the doctors were trying to figure out what got her calcium levels up, and it was because of her powder, the Vitamix, the T cell and NK cell Vitamix. And so her family ended up ordering 6 bottles, okay? I think selling us out that day, and then we had to bring more in stock with the vendor and everything like that. But you can get these on shoptkdeals.com. Use the coupon code TK10 to get 10% off your first order. And don't forget, in addition to the sea moss drops, we have the sour sop and sea moss drops, okay? So island people, stand up. I know y'all love y'all sour sop. It's highly nutritional, has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties and things like that. And so this is available as well too with sea moss, black seed oil, and sour sop, okay? Very, very potent, all right? And so our island people will know about this. They put it in their tea, they put it in their coffee, their water. But like I said, if you're just a plain Jane like me, you just want your regular sea moss, we pop it in. But you can get all three all 3 in 1 for the sea moss, okay? Magnesium is a must, okay? And so very high quality magnesium is a must. And it's a must because a lot of times as Black people, when we have like heart attacks or muscle cramps or spasms or high blood pressure and things like that, half the time, especially given through clinical studies, it's because our magnesium levels are extremely low, okay? And we can get magnesium from water. A lot of us don't drink a lot of water, and we can get it from visiting the sea. Milk of magnesia, I'm not a friend of that, just because it helps to relax the bowels too much to the point where you can take it in, but you're pooping it out. And so taking 1 to 2 magnesium pills a day that are anywhere from 250 milligrams of magnesium to 500 magnesium. I usually take mine at night to help me to, relax. Blood pressure used to be through the roof, okay? Especially with me being an entrepreneur. They say entrepreneurs have the most heart attacks and strokes because we're always constantly worried and things like that, always tight and clenched. Magnesium, taking it at night, after about a week, you should see yourself to start to relax, blood pressure going down according to clinical studies. I am not a doctor, but talk to your doctor about it. Or you can do your own research on Google or is it Chat GPT or Chat GTP, whatever, okay? But we do have magnesium, high quality magnesium that is made and sourced in the UK. So we have a very good company with high quality supplements. That's one thing that we pride ourselves on, especially with the D3. Y'all keep selling this out, okay? 10,000 IUs of D3 with vitamin C mixed together. We cannot keep that in stock. I keep trying to tell the company, y'all need to make more, like it's not enough. And they're like, we just never had sales like this. I'm like, well, the winos is different. And Black people, we need vitamin D, a lot of it, because we don't get a lot of sun. We're not out in the sun. We're not exercising like we should and things like that. And even if we are, sometimes our body just can't convert it because we're not properly supplemented, all right? So all of this is available on shoptkdeals.com. Use the coupon code TK10 to help get yourself supplemented with high quality supplements that I personally use and recommend daily. And yes, this is sponsored, okay?